river. Is Ian at the stile there?
200 metres down the path from the stile.
In terms of the people which we're looking for, they tend to fall into different categories. Some are what's called vulnerable missing persons. Some are described as despondent missing persons. Some would fall into more ordinary categories, people who have just got lost. But our work tends to fall into those three categories.
And sort of we respond to them, sort of extract them, obviously because the police and the ambulance service can only go so far, and with us being trained we can go that bit further. We deal with obviously missing people who may be sort of medical issues or unfortunately suicide.
It can take quite a bit of time to get to people sometimes, but we know that we can get there and they have to be stretchered off, or in bad cases we can get them helied off. So they're very straightforward incidents. The more complicated incidents are those where falls have been taken in very steep ground, perhaps where somebody has been killed, and then it becomes a body recovery. Those are the ones that take quite a lot out of you as a volunteer rescuer.
It's a real range of stuff, and I suppose that also leads to the type of training that we do. You know, you have to be prepared for all circumstances, whether it's dealing with a casualty who's becoming hypothermic because they've been lying waiting on help to come on the side of a mountain. They're stressed. They're in a position where they were fine 10 minutes ago and now they're not, and it's a time of great anxiety for them.
We did a call out there recently on the backside of Culca Mountain, and a lady had fallen and broken her ankle in two places. Her reaction to having to get the mountain rescue team out, she was mortified that she needed the mountain rescue team, and it was really humbling for us that somebody would be so embarrassed, but we were just there to help. Ended up having to get the helicopter to get her out because it was such an awkward place, but it's such an odd place. It was really amazing to be walking back down the mountain thinking we've done a really good thing there and we've helped somebody who would have been in real trouble without us.
One of the biggest events I was at was a farm accident where a quad rolled over a lady when she was out checking on her sheep. We got the call. It was actually, we were doing training over Zoom. I was out the door within 2 minutes and I was getting a call from the team leader. He says that once you get to the base, if you get the vehicle out and no one else has arrived, you go. There's a protocol here. We have to wait for a second person in the vehicle, but this really is life or death for this woman. And it was pitch black, it was raining. It really was a baptism by fire. And we got up and we treated the woman, but it was the biggest injury I ever seen. She was split from here right down to here, but she survived okay. That night I really did help save a life, and that's one of my proudest moments, and one of the things I really remember for the rest of my days.
What I would say to members of the public who are intending going onto the hill is it's very commonly the people who we would assist have overestimated their own abilities and underestimated the weather. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other, and sometimes it's both. And that makes for a classic, let's find these people and bring them home.
A lot of people don't check the weather forecast before going out, just don't dress appropriately. And there'll be a heat wave. People are up there and they're starting up early in the morning. There's no water with them. They're not eating properly before they go up. They maybe not go up with a hat on their head. They'll not go up with sun cream on, and a lot of those guys will fall for heat exhaustion, heat stroke. The other side of that there then is poor bad weather, so you could run the risk of hypothermia.
Sometimes you see people going up the hill and they're wearing inappropriate footwear. I've seen flip-flops on the hill. So it's just really trying to educate people to help prevent accidents on the hill.
In terms of the despondent missing persons and vulnerable missing persons, which sadly we do a lot of, they tend to result in body recovery. The vulnerable missing person has gone into a forest, into a river, and that means usually a protracted search for us.
Dealing with people in mental distress is quite a large part of what we do, and over the years we have been engaged with a number of individuals in that situation. Of my involvement in mountain rescue, one of the most rewarding experiences was actually quite a sad incident, and it involved the death of a person. We were able to, at night and in quite dense fog, locate the individual, and unfortunately he was deceased. But we were able to work with the police service of Northern Ireland and confirm that life was unfortunately extinct, and we were able to get the individual down off the hill in a timely fashion. And the family were very appreciative of us working through the night to find that individual, meaning that he wasn't lying all night on the hill. But it made me realise, even when things don't go as well as you would hope, you can still make an impact.
What it has brought to my eyes is exactly how much mental health issues result in people wanting to end their lives.
What I would say, if I could speak to them, is there's always someone to talk to. Although it might not seem like that, it is important to talk. It can seem at the time that there's no way out and that there's no hope for the future, but that's part of the illness, and that's why you're stuck in that rut. But there is definitely a way out, and there's a way forward.
Two things I would say is that everybody matters. I appreciate that when someone's in that position, they feel they don't matter, and they feel that the world would be better without them. That's perhaps why they're making that step. The second thing is, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Come from that ethos of life for living, and to push the boundaries. And if you're not growing, then you're standing still, as it were. And I also looked at it from the point of view as, why wouldn't you join them, as opposed to why would you join them? And I said, I can try it out and see if I enjoy it and see if I like it. The work that they do and the camaraderie that they have, for me, it was a no-brainer. I'm very thankful that I can do this. I'm very thankful I have a mountain rescue team in my locality that I can go to. I can learn all these skills, but also I have access to a great group of people and a great group of now friends.
I've always thought that if you can help somebody, you should. I'm young and fit, strong, and I think we should help people if we can. I like to try and set an example for my kids a little bit too, that you should do something for free. And not look for a reward, and helping somebody is the reward in itself. And a lot of people do it just because they want to give something back for nothing, and I really appreciate that.
It's incredibly fulfilling. Very, very fulfilling when you bring someone safe home, down off the hill, deliver them to an ambulance and see them safely on their way, or incredibly fulfilling when you recover someone who has died and return them to their family.
And you see it all. You see life. You see death, you see pain, you see hurt, you see resolution, you get people back to the ambulance, you solve that little bit of a problem in their life, and that gives you great buoyancy.
I volunteered just because of time, and I thought I could use that time better than once I said there, just sitting around the house. And I decided to come out, and my wife came with me, and it's been the best time. It's about getting out and helping people. The amount of people we have now helped, you're proud of your team and you're proud of yourself because you know you've made a difference that day. And I would encourage anybody, either it's mountain rescue or whatever, to get out and volunteer and just make a difference. And whether you're volunteering just to pick rubbish up off the street or whatever, it's about helping out, making everything a better place, and just being happy.
Well, I would encourage everybody to get up off the sofa and get out the door and to enjoy the great outdoors, because we have a phenomenal country. I spent 2 nights ago up on the Leitrim Hills doing some night navigation. It was absolutely stunning, beyond belief. The stillness as a blood moon rose. It's breathtaking. We live in a breathtaking country. Get out and enjoy it and give something back. Join the mountain rescue, join a search and rescue. Do something, because in giving you're getting so much.